Welcome back to the 1995 Video Music Awards opening act show here in New York City, Radio City Music Hall. Grateful Dead guitarist Jerry Garcia has been dead for nearly a month now, but many of the band's fans are still in a state of shock. This is a band whose appeal cut across all boundaries of age, class, and even politics, and now the Legion of Deadheads is wondering not only where they go from here, but whether the Dead themselves will be going along with them. Garcia's death marks the end of an era, but it is also the end of the band. We put some of these questions to guitarist Bob Weir last week at his home in San Francisco, and here's what we learned.
Where were you when you heard the bad news about Jerry?
I was just getting out of bed in New Hampshire.
Oh, wow. Was this something that you thought maybe this would happen? I mean, did his health seem to be bad, or did you say, well, someday this is going to happen? Or was it a real shock?
Well, you know, you always knew the other shoe was going to drop sooner or later. I never really expected him to outlive me or nothing like that.
This has been a really shocking thing for the fans out there, I know, but how did the band respond? Did the whole group get together, or did you all go separate ways?
Oh, we all got together. I got on an airplane the next morning and came back here, and we all got together that night and went over and viewed the stiff. And then we all got together and had a drink or two.
Yeah.
Don't try this at home, kids. It just didn't really help at all.
Was it one of those things where it was weeping and crying, or was it more Jerry-like?
It was more Jerry-like. I don't think anybody, very, very few people at least, were apt to mope and sob and all that kind of stuff. Be secure in the sure and certain knowledge that Jerry would be pissed off about that.
Have you personally encountered any fans since this happened? I mean, people come up to you on the street and
All the time.
What are they saying out there?
Well, they're mostly saying, they're pouring out a little bit of their hearts, and they're assuming that I think a lot of them are assuming that I'm taking this a lot harder than I am.
Yeah.
I don't tend to, death is so final that I can't argue with it, and I can't really react that much to it because it's a change that you absolutely have to accept right now. I can't take Jerry's death personally. He didn't do that to me.
Yeah.
So when they come up to me on the street, I think they're trying to give me a little strength that I don't really need. They could keep it for themselves but if they feel they have to share something with me, here I am.
You've been working on an album at the time. What's going to become of whatever was done?
We're going to have a look-see at what we've got, and I tend to think we have more there than the rest of the guys. I may not be quite the perfectionist I used to be about that kind of stuff, and I think we can play around with it and add and subtract and stuff like that, and fluff it up and maybe have something there that might be somewhat presentable.
There was a story in the paper the other day that the Dead had laid off some people, and they're making a big thing out of this. God, they're laying off people. What does it mean? What does it mean? Or is it true?
Well, we're going to have to scale back for a little while.
Yeah. We
pig flip some people, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing we've ever had to do either, but we're not going to be doing the fall tour.
Yeah.
So the income's not going to be there to pay them all.
I guess what everyone wants to know is, will the Dead go on? I know you're all musicians, you all keep playing, but will the band go on, do you think? Or could somebody step in and fill the breach here?
We got all kinds of options. We're going to get together in a little bit and sort it out. I can give you absolutely no definitive answer, except that we'll get together and kick it around. And as for what Jerry did, that real special thing, it's still there. I'm quite sure that if we get together and start kicking stuff around, if we listen, in our hearts and, inside somewhere, that we'll hear that thread that we've always heard. And I'm sure he's still singing. I can hear it. And I'm sure anyone who was ever exposed to that, that joy and that creativity and that wickedness and all that kind of stuff that he used to project, that mischief and the love. it's still there. You know, it's in you. You can't lose that. It's once you catch that, it stays in you. And so it's not like he's gone.
Yeah.
And it's not like if we get together, he won't be there.
Whatever becomes of the material the Dead recorded before Jerry Garcia's death, there will be a vintage live Dead album in the racks at the end of this month called 100 Year Hall, recorded at the Jahrhundert Halle in Frankfurt, Germany in 1972.